I took English classes, as you mentioned, but also French classes. I never learned anything in any French class. I spent like 9 years learning French. I didn't learn a single thing, but at least it was there. Like, oh yeah, French, it's there. Like, yeah, I can dabble with it, whatever. And I think my biggest moments when it comes to language learning is when I went to China the first time. My first time in Asia was
Wow.
in China. It was like 2011, if I don't remember
Right.
incorrectly. And by then, I only knew like some things in Chinese. But when I started using like whatever little I knew, like asking for a spoon,
Mm-hmm.
and the people were so impressed at me knowing how to ask for a spoon in Chinese. I was like, wait, like I just asked for a spoon. Like imagine if I actually have a conversation with you, like you will lose your mind.
Yeah.
So I feel like deep down, I really wanted to blow people's minds there. You know, like they were instantly super friendly. If I asked for a spoon, if I were able to like communicate the whole thing I want to communicate, then they would like be my close friends. You know, like the reason I study languages so much, I think if I can pinpoint it into a single reason, is to make friends. I'm a people person, you know. And
Exactly.
I really like connecting with people. I like learning from people, even if it's the taxi driver, even if it's like the clerk. I really want to know what they're thinking, and what they're thinking is codified in language. So if I can crack that code, then I can really, really, really understand them. And I don't know, I feel like I respect translation so much. I relied in translations my whole life, but I think if you have the choice to not rely on a translation but real excuse me listen to the actual real thing, then you're gonna connect with that person like like you wouldn't in any other fashion.
Of course. And this is where we definitely agree on, because if you ask me what is my main reason to learn a language, or it's just to basically to connect with people. I know that you and I agree with this perfectly. And of course, connecting with them, you know, in English can be nice, but nothing's like through their own language. And that's
Right,
something very
right.
special. And you and I have both experienced this thing of going to another country, living in this country, having your life be in another country. You talk about it being a groundbreaking experience, and this is something that I completely relate to, because, you know, I consider myself absolutely fortunate to have been able to leave my country, live in a different country. You see your country through different eyes, you know, and of course, you adopt new, you adopt basically a new country, and you know.
Yeah, it's like adopting a new culture for yourself. It's crazy because I had this conversation with people who learn languages before, and once you get good at a different language, your whole experiences in that language, in with the people that speak the language, in the place that speak the language, that develops a new personality inside of you.
Yeah,
So once you get really good in a language, you can really feel like it's not like a multiple personality disorder or anything, but you feel like you have a split identity, so to speak. And
absolutely.
when I developed this split identity for the first time, I was like, whoa, I feel like, I wouldn't say more powerful, but at least I feel more knowledgeable. Like I can see the world in from two different eyes. So once I started learning more languages, I developed like more eyes to see the world from. And it's crazy because I have this many eyes at the same time, but they all converge into one.
You're just like a big mutant.
Yeah, I became a language
With all
mutant.
these eyes.
Uh, yeah, because of this, I've been able to see the world, like big stuff, and even the smallest, most trivial stuff in a different eye. And I think that's my number one takeaway from language learning: the
Oh
fact
man.
that you can like see, I don't know, like this juice, and see it from so many different perspectives, and not only the perspective you were born with or the perspective that was in the environment you were raised with. I think that's like the number one superpower you develop by learning languages. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
What do
I
you think?
mean, first of all, I think like every language that a person knows, it's literally like one superpower, and every language is a different superpower. The only thing is right now I'm perfectly fine with just honing two superpowers, you know? I'm not like a I'm not like one of these kind of
No,
mutant ones
I
yet.
I think I actually respect more the people who hone a language more than many like I do. Like I do it because I'm crazy. Like I have
Right,
no
right. It fits your
respect for myself.
personality well.
But if you actually go to the depths of the language, I respect you so much. Like there's this Bruce Lee or like I don't know, like Jackie Chan quotes, like don't fear the man who knows 1,000 kicks, know the fear the man who knows a kick very, very well.
Mm.
it's it's simple like that. Like if you're an expert in a topic, you're automatically stronger than anyone else who dabbles in it. So I really,
Yeah.
really respect like people like you who go all in a
Right.
language.
I mean, I think it just fits our personality. Like how I told you that I was always one that chose just one thing and then I just went hardcore at that. You, I
Mhm.
mean, you're following what fits your personality, and it's
Right.
totally fine. I mean,
That's
uh,
also a beautiful thing about language learning, is that there's no one size fits all. Like every journey of language learning is a direct representation, is like a shadow of your personality. You
mm,
know, like I know people who study like even more languages than me, and I'm pretty sure that's the most fitting way of the personality. Like that's exactly how they feel it and how they go about it and how they enjoy it. So that's why I never would cast judgments upon the number of languages someone learns or the way someone learns a language.
or the level that they speak those
Now the
languages.
level even less, yeah. Like it's
Mm,
different journeys, man. You cannot ever compare. You cannot ever compare. It
absolutely.
comes to something so basic as your DNA. Your DNA will dictate how you study a language. You know, like how you learn better, how you communicate better. So it's super, super personal, and that's one of the reasons why in my social networks and whatever, I don't really say, oh, you should learn a language like this and
Hmm.
set it on stone, because that's super audacious. You know, I can tell people who are like me how to study,
All right.
but the 90% of people who don't study like I do or who don't have the same goals as I do, I have not much to say to them really, except just like share a passion that we have in common, you know.
Of course. I mean, language learning is really such an individual process that it's hard. I mean, to have things just scripted so tightly. Of course, concepts and just basically mindsets are more important. If you have those rights, then you can work in the details. But
Yeah,
so
100%.
you went to China in 2013 for the first time, right?
That's 2011.
2011, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah.
And what time? And when did you go back to live? And was this your first foreign country that you lived in? Right, it
Uh,
was.
so I went the first time as a visit because my father used to go there very
Right.
often for business and whatnot. But he really, really wanted us, like my family, to go so that we can like know what the hell was going on over there. And there's an amazing thing with China that a friend of mine said, is that if you go to China, you either love it or hate it.
Wow.
There is no middle ground.